All right, this is Ebony again, a.k.a. Fit Mom Diva of Simplicity Health Style. And today we have Miss Olivia with us on the line. How are you,
Oh,
Olivia?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I am awesome. You guys, she had a eventful morning.
Yes, I did.
Being that she is here to share a little bit of knowledge and gems with you, please appreciate it and stick around to the end. And for those of you that do stick around to the end, you will get a complimentary gift from me. So, without further ado, Olivia, tell us one motivational quote that really gets you going, something that inspires you and really motivates you.
Okay. My motivational quote is really a scripture that comes from Jeremiah 29:11 when it talks about, I know the plans that I have for you to give you hope and a future and expect the end. So that's the quote that gets my day going, that gives me reassurance and hope that the plans that God has for me that are amazing and that they're going to manifest themselves. So that's my quote that gets me going through the day, or when I'm having a down moment, I just remind myself of that scripture.
Awesome. So tell us about a down moment. Tell us about a time when you maybe didn't see the light at the end of the tunnel and you had to overcome some obstacles, some things that you thought were particularly challenging. And through your due diligence, you were able to see that goal to fruition.
Okay. Prime example, back in 2016, maybe like October, I was actually transitioning out of a job and I was okay for a moment. I had my little break, my little woosah moment. I was like, okay, let me just take some time after 16 years, 16 and a half years, excuse me, at a job, a career. I was just, let me just take a break. Had me a little vacation time and woosah. I did some things, and then one day I woke up, I said, okay, what am I going to do? And so I was trying to do some things, got back in school. That was going great for a little bit, but I felt like there was something more that I needed to do.
Mhm.
And so I actually started writing a book, and which comes out hopefully this summer. It'll come out in this summer. But going through things, my book is actually like a prayer devotional, but it also tells like a transparent moments about my life. So which each prayer it tells a little bit about myself. And I was going through a situation in which I felt like I was actually going through depression and didn't realize it. And sometimes people say, well, depression, you in a room by yourself, or you're by yourself, you don't want to be with anyone. But I was going through depression and didn't realize it, Ebony. And everyone around me knew that I was going through it, but I was just blind to the fact. So I was actually going through the motions. I was going about life and doing my things at church or with family or what have you, but I really wasn't living. And so I began to withdraw from my family, my friends, and people that really cared about me. And I began to go into this shell. And I was really feeling like there was no hope. No one was there. I even felt like I had lost my disconnection to God. It was just so many things that was going on. And I was trying to write this book at the same time. So there's this section I talk about depression. And when I was actually talking about depression, the more I wrote about it, the worse it got, if that makes any sense. I was trying to write about it, but while I was writing about depression, I was getting more depressed. So I actually had to take some time away from the book and actually connect with um, a family member. I said, hey, I'm going through this situation. I feel like I'm losing all my hope. I need for you to pray for me. I'm a person that prays, but I needed someone to pray for me. So
Yeah.
I actually I told her some of the details, and the great thing about it, I didn't have to tell her everything that was going on, and I could tell that her prayers were working, because I felt like that weight that was on me was actually being lifted, and I was actually able, thank you God, to complete my book and send it off to my editor to do the revision. So that lasted like for months. Like I actually stopped writing for a while, and but thank God I was able to get through that area.
I love that. And you said something that really stuck out when you mentioned that you were still able to function in everyday life, what
Mhm.
appears
Mhm.
to
Mhm.
everyday life. You weren't sitting and crying in a room, eating
Yeah.
ice cream all day or anything like what we imagine it to maybe mean. And what that makes me think is I'm sure that there are a lot of people that we interact with on a
Mhm.
daily basis that fall into that category.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
they might very well even put a smile on their face, but they're functioning at a depression level.
Yeah, exactly.
That's amazing. So that lends credence to the fact that everybody actually goes through challenges and you don't
Mhm.
necessarily know it just by
Exactly. Exactly.
ask them what's really going on. A lot of
Right.
people really don't know.
No, you're right. You're
That's,
right.
that's something to really think about and how we treat people too.
You're exactly right. And the thing about it is like, you're human. Whether you are a religious person or have a relationship with God, you still go through the same things that a normal person would go through. And I was actually, thinking to myself, like, okay, Olivia, you have this great relationship with God. Why are you allowing life to take you through this route? And I was taking a look at myself and actually taking a look at my relationship with God. I said, okay, God, I know that you're there. I know that you're real. What's going on? And at the end of the day, at the end of that test that I went through, I realized that what I was walking through was actually going to be a help to someone in the future. So if someone comes to me, talking about depression, I could say, hey, I know what you're going through. I could just tell my life instead of just making something, up, just to really just say, well, blah, 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 blah. But I can just really be myself and really tell that person, hey, I know what you're walking through. I've been there and done that, and just share my life. And maybe something that I share will actually be a difference to someone.
Yeah, and it's funny how we, as we're going through certain things, we think that it's a lot bigger than what it is, and then when we
Yeah.
actually get through it, it's like, well, if I was able to get through that, I could get through anything.
Right, exactly. You're so right. You are so right. You're so right.
Tell us, who do you think that the book would be best for? Who would it benefit the most?
Well, when I wrote the book in mind, I really did not have the person and I actually tell this in the book. This book is not for those that have their prayer life together, that really like, well, I know how to pray for this. I know how to pray for that. I don't need anyone's help. My book is really focused on the person that doesn't know how to pray or really is struggling in their prayer life. Like in the book, I tell them, like, I don't have all the answers to how to pray, but this is what God has shown me. And if you're like me, every day I'm continuously trying to strengthen my prayer life with God. So that's my main thing. I'm really trying to reach those that have never prayed about a certain situation or a certain topic, because my book ranges from health, time management, entrepreneurship, to relationships, emotions. When I talk about depression, anxiety, even about talking about your letting go of the past, how to forgive yourself, how to forgive others. And even I talk about like your position in God, like want to know, well, okay, God, where do I fit in as far as like in your kingdom? And really, even if it comes to praying for your pastor or praying for those that have leadership over you. And at the end of the book, I bring it all in, I tied it all together for those that don't know Christ, just to have that opportunity for them to give their life to him. So it goes. It's all basis of life. It's not no big old religious ha 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 ha. I have scripture based. Sometimes some people don't get into the deep. I mean, you have those that you could get deep references to, but I'm really trying to reach those that really don't know. So that's my main goal. So.
Yeah. Yeah, and those people are some of the main people that need
Mhm.
help with where things can seem over their head.
Mhm.
So they don't take
Exactly.
any steps because everything is just over their head.
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So I love that. Tell us a little bit about, you mentioned that you discuss a little bit about entrepreneurship. And there are people that are going to be listening to this
Mhm.
that perhaps want to start their own entrepreneur
Mhm.
journey, but they're not fully aware of what's involved. So
Mhm.
talk a little bit about your journey through that, the ups and the downs, and how you gained the momentum that you've gained so far.
Okay. In the beginning, I didn't see it as an entrepreneurship. I just saw it as just trying to motivate and encourage someone. And a very close friend of mine said, Olivia, you really can, yes, you can motivate and inspire, but you can also become an entrepreneur, you know, a kingdom chick or a boss chick. And so I was just like, well, okay. And it took me a few years to really try to put things into perspective, you know, getting your business plan and getting your name registered and what have you. So it was a lot of steps that I had to take. And I think that connecting with like-minded entrepreneurs, whether it's through social media, that is like a great platform to try to connect with those that know more than you do, and actually connect with local entrepreneurs, like entrepreneur groups. There's a group that I'm part of that we actually glean from each other, and we learn from what someone may have been an entrepreneur for years, and they give us beginners tips of what we need to do. So that's been quite the journey. As far as like becoming into my own entrepreneurship, I started off with very small, you know, like a small t-shirt, you know, just sayings and what have you. But I took a break from entrepreneurship for a while to really focus on the book. So once the book comes out, of course, that's gonna be like my big piece of the my entrepreneurship and everything that comes with it. So it's a lot as far as like being the entrepreneur. Cause you, like you said, you have your ups, you have your great moments where you're like, okay, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And then there's some days you have like, okay, nothing is happening. What's going on? So it's ups and downs. I wish that you could wake up one day and say, hey, I'm gonna be an entrepreneur, and everything just happens, but it's not like that all the time. It's not like that. So you have to really stay focused and stay encouraged when you have those bad moments when no one is buying from you, no one knows who you are, you do not have those connections that you used to not have. So it's a process. It's a process.
Yeah, and I think that in this day and age, I think that so many things are handed to us and
Mhm. Mhm.
given to us so quickly
Mhm.
that we forget about patience.
Yes.
Like, oh,
Yeah.
I should make $1 billion a year in
Yeah.
1 year.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I see where some of the most successful entrepreneurs, for the first 5 years of their business, they weren't doing so hot,
Yeah.
and now they're Walt Disney World is
Yeah.
here, and
Mhm. Mhm.
all these people that
Yeah.
we look up to as having made it, quote unquote,
Mhm.
made it.
Yeah.
Now they're long gone, and their legacy lives,
Yeah.
and they will tell you in their biography that it didn't start off that way.
Mhm.
you
You're
know,
so right.
understanding that patience is significant is something I think that will keep you persistent.
Mhm.
You won't give up at the first couple of times of quote unquote failure.
Mhm.
So, what should someone do if they do not have a strong support system and
Mhm.
they don't particularly enjoy networking? Let's say they're relatively reserved or shy.
Mhm. Okay.
What would be something that you would encourage them to, one of two things, either step outside their comfort zone and to embrace networking, or to find an avenue that would work for that type of personality?
Okay. Well, believe it or not, I'm an introvert. People don't think that I'm an introvert, but I really am an introvert at heart. It took me a moment to step out of my comfort zone, my box, to actually go to these networking events. I started off, I would ask one of my friends to go with me. I was like, come with me let's go together. 'Cause I feel like, okay, if I knew someone in the room, I would be okay. Just start off small, going to a networking event or a workshop with you in the room with like-minded people who was learning the same thing you're trying to learn, and that actually, start up a conversation with someone which you can actually make a connection. That happened with me with different classes I was going to, these free workshops. I mean, they're all over the place to learn different things, and just to sit there and talk to the person next to you, and you can make a connection, and then down the road, you and that person can have a collaboration. So the world is your oyster, I guess, so if I said that correctly, but it's just so much that you can do as far as like not knowing, and connect with people that let me see, that they have the same ambition as you. Because sometimes you can have friends that your friends are your homegirls or your homeboys, but they don't have that same mindset of being like an entrepreneur or being successful. And sometimes you have to step out of your zone to connect with people that are not usually in your circle. So I've had to learn that as well, even though I have some very close friends, but they don't have the mindset to be an entrepreneur. So my life shifted. I didn't do it, but it kind of just happened. Shifted with connected with other people that actually want to do more. And the thing about it is, I don't even see them like every day. We're connected through social media. It's amazing how social media connects you with people from all over, and you get that connection quickly, versus with someone you may see every day or that may be down the street from you. So it's all about connection, and just stepping out and just living, just do it. Just do it. So
yes, and I also find that people that have a strong passion for something, they tend to want to talk about it. So no matter how shy and reserved you are, when you get into your thing, your element,
right,
some of them can't shut up about it. So it's one of those things that you may be shy and reserved around certain people because you don't have anything to talk about with those certain people. But you're talking about that thing that lights you up.
Right.
You won't even shut up about it. I often tell people, because I help people discover what their life purpose is, and help them with career development as well as living a healthy and whole life. And what I've noticed is that when someone is discouraged because they really don't know what path to take, when I ask them the right questions about what lights them up, then it's like you just see it on their face.
Yeah.
Right? That's their thing.
Yeah.
And they haven't been operating in that thing because they view it as something sometimes that's so easy and something that comes so natural to them. They don't necessarily understand that they can monetize it. And so they keep falling into these jobs that are unfulfilling just to pay the bills.
Yes.
Yes. And once they begin to operate in that passion and that gift that they have, then their whole world changes.
You're so right. You're so right.
It's so unfortunate that people don't take the time to become self-aware and really understand what that is for them. We all have it. Everybody walking down the street has it. It's just some people decide that they want to develop their craft, and some people choose not to for various reasons. And some of those reasons are okay. But at some point in time, you just want more for yourself.
Yes, you do. You get tired of the same everything you do.
So, any closing words before we end? And they're going to have access to follow you. All the links will be in the description box, so everyone will have access to follow you and also purchase your book. I would encourage everybody to purchase this book because even if you can't benefit from it, you might know somebody that can.
Yes.
So I think that we can all benefit from it in some way, fashion, or form. So I'm excited for when it comes out.
Me too. I will definitely let you know when it comes out.
Yes, I will gladly promote that because
thank you.
I feel like these days we don't take the time to spend time in prayer and meditation. That's kind of like an afterthought. So being able to learn from someone like yourself that you actually put your heart into this, I think that is definitely beneficial for all of us. So
okay, well, this is just like a wonderful phrase that I would just encourage you all to trust God, trust His plan, and trust the process.
And trust the process.
Yes.
That's 3 words you can
I know.
Trust the process. I love it. Any of you listening that need people around you like Olivia, and you are finding it difficult to connect with others, I do have an online Facebook group called Nutrition for Busy Women. That link will be in the comments. So please take a look and see if that's something that could benefit you. And we would be happy to have you in there. I think that when it comes to getting our dreams off the ground, we need to have these type of people around us, because not every day
Right.
is a good day. But if you can quickly turn to a positive community, you will not stay down in the dumps for very long.
That's so right.
So get around as many of these type of people as you can. And for those of you that join, you will get a complimentary gift for joining. If you are interested in sharing your success story or your challenges even, please reach out to me, and I would love to have you on the show as well, and share this out to any family and friends that are struggling as well. All right, you guys have an awesome day wherever you are in the world, and until next time, remember to live a purposeful and meaningful life. Talk to you soon.